5, 10, 15-minute quick breaks, you are able to actually build your toolbox full of well-being tasks that can help you clear your mind of mental clutter, and also take on more of your workday, feeling a little bit more well. All right, so I want to start off today with a chat question. So we're going to open up that chat that we all have at the top left and take a moment to think about one word to describe how your mind has been feeling lately. Okay, so if you can kind of describe one word of how your mind has been feeling lately, the first thing that comes to mind. Don't put too much thought into it. Your mind is racing. Okay. All right. This is just re-emphasizing why we took the time to be here today. It sounds like a lot of us are feeling the same way, maybe a little distracted, busy, full, hectic. How very human of us to be feeling these ways. So without judgment, just one word to kind of explain how your mind has been feeling lately. Thank you all for participating. And perhaps that's what encouraged you to log on today. We're going to go through a few small tips and tricks that you can use to help hopefully clear some of that clutter. If you're feeling like you have a lot of tabs open in your mind, these techniques will help you hopefully clear some of those tabs. So some signs that we are experiencing mental clutter, again, this is very human without judgment, but if we're forgetting simple things, if we sit down to complete a task and then we forget maybe why we sat down in the first place, if we're having difficulty focusing, feeling overwhelmed by the small things, some more words are coming in here. Maybe we're feeling a little bit distracted, cluttered. If you're feeling impatient or irritable, and this is not just at work, this is absolutely at home as well, okay? We understand that our well-being doesn't stop and start when we arrive at work, or when we go home rather. So we're trying to learn simple tips and tricks that we can do in both spaces, to feel a little bit less distracted, a little bit less chaotic, a little bit less cluttered. If you're feeling mentally tired even after resting, we talked about that a little bit last week. So the goal is to not eliminate stress completely. All right. We've discussed this before. Stress can be good. It can be motivating. Okay. There are good stressors, positive stressors, and stressors that aren't so great. But the goal is to help us feel a little bit calmer, a little bit more clear, and like we're doing things, right? I think when we have so many tabs open, we're getting so much done, but we're maybe not taking the time to even recognize all that we've done, maybe celebrate some of the things that we've accomplished. And that really does start with us being able to slow down. Okay. So we're going to take a moment to do a little guided mental reset. You won't need to move at all for this, but I invite you to get as comfortable as you can in the space that you're in. Maybe settle your feet to the floor. Notice the seat that you're sitting on. Maybe relax the shoulders. And I invite you to close your eyes if you feel safe to do so here. I invite you to roll your shoulders up, back, and down one good time. Unclench your jaw. Relax your forehead. Take a deep inhale in through the nose and a long, slow exhale through the mouth. We'll do that again together. Big, deep breath in through the nose. Full exhale through the mouth. So it is no secret, and I'm going to remind this to all of you week after week, that one of the quickest ways to calm the mind is to relax the body first. Okay? So pausing for a deep breath as we just did, or trying some breathing techniques that we're going to do, that can be one of the quickest ways to not only calm the body and mind, but also just get a handle on things, right? To change your perspective a little bit. All right? So the next technique that we're going to practice is our box breathing. All right, we did this week 1. So for those of you returning, this may feel familiar. And if you're new today, this is a very simple breathing technique. No one will know that you're doing it. I'm going to draw a square just for visualization, but feel free to close your eyes. So the goal here is to inhale for 4 seconds. Hold your breath at the top for a count of 4. Exhale for 4. And hold at the base empty for 4. Okay, let's try this together. So staying in that comfortable seat, we are regulating our nervous system with this box breathing. We are telling our body and our minds that we're in a safe space. So let's give it our best shot. Here we go. Inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Good. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Take that twice more at your own pace. Breathe in. Slowing it down. Slower the better. Breathing fully. Return back to your natural, normal rhythm of breath. I want to invite you back to the chat just for a moment to check in. What impact did that technique have on you today? And I'm not looking for a specific answer. I'm genuinely curious. If that's new for you, how did that feel? If that's something you've done before, did that help to settle you? What did maybe 2 to 2.5 minutes of breathing do for you today? I see calming. Okay. Reinforcing it made a huge difference. It reset your normal breathing. Okay, that's a big one. So sometimes we don't even notice that we're living in this really heightened, really quick breathing state, right? But slowing it down, taking the time to do some of these techniques can absolutely reset that. Ready for sleep? Okay, calm and relaxed. Yes. Awesome. So this is not new for all of you. Maybe we've done this before. Gave me something to focus on. I love that. That's one of the reasons that I actually appreciate kind of drawing the box as well for box breathing, is it gives my mind something else to do, something else to focus on. So perhaps that's something you could try as well. I'm seeing reset. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. So we're going to settle back into our seat, and you won't need anything for this, but we are going to take a little visualization. So this might be new for some of you as well. I invite you to close the eyes if you feel safe to do so. And I want you to imagine all of the tabs that are maybe still open in your brain right now. And maybe you categorize them by work or home. Maybe work has its own set of tabs. That's very real. This can be reminders, conversations, excited things that you're excited about, things that maybe you're worried about, and just kind of visualize the tabs open in your brain. And now I want you to picture a bookshelf, okay? And we're going to go from digital to physical. And I want you to picture putting those tabs and organizing them away on a bookshelf, okay? Just take a moment. How do you want to organize that shelf? How do you want to place those tabs in their different categories? And imagine placing each one gently on the bookshelf instead of feeling like you're carrying it all at once. Continuing to place things in their proper place on the shelf. Take another deep breath here. And let this be a reminder that you don't need to solve everything in this moment. That is your mind playing tricks on you. And the mind is a powerful thing. So the more that we allow it to hold on to these tabs and to make it feel like we have to do every single thing at once, the stronger that muscle becomes, right? That's why everything in this category, everything that we're doing virtually over these few weeks is a practice. And we're going to be better at this some days. We're going to be better at placing these tabs on the bookshelf some days. And some days we're going to still feel that feeling of, I have to do it all. But the reality is that we can't do it all. And so the moment that we come to terms with that and we find ways to compartmentalize, we find ways to organize, we find tools and things that help us get back into our body and to understand that we are only one person. We have 24 hours in a day, right? But we have to take care of ourselves in order for those 24 hours to truly be productive. Okay. And that is what Duncan wants you to learn, right? That's what we're all working on together so that we can continue this wonderful culture of health and well-being while we're at work, because you all put so much into work, right? And we want you to feel well. Okay. So hopefully some of those tabs are placed on the bookshelf and you can kind of start to visualize what that may look like over time. The 3-step reset rule. Okay, so this is something else that we can maybe, if you're a note taker, maybe you want to jot this down. Stop, breathe, and prioritize the next thing. All right. Maybe then we pull something off of our bookshelf and we can sit down and actually focus on that and complete it and move on. Okay. So stop, breathe, and prioritize the next thing. Okay. Maybe we can do a little bit more of that when we're overwhelmed. If you see coworkers that are here with us today, perhaps we remind each other to stop, to breathe, and to prioritize the next thing. That's how we will truly get things done. A few other things that we can do: writing things down instead of mentally storing them. So you already know if you're a list person or not. There's different ways to make lists. They don't have to be physical, they can be digital. Maybe you just talk to your phone and you make a little list of things that you need to do on your notepad, or maybe you have a special physical notepad that you're taking lists down. The gratification of actually crossing something off a list, what that is doing is it's training our brain and reminding ourselves that we can get things done, right? Instead of keeping all these tabs open, we want to take one thing at a time. Close the unused browsers, all right? I'm a hypocrite of this because I'm looking at my computer now and I have quite a few tabs open, but mentally, I'm working on having fewer. Silencing unnecessary notifications. So time and place, right? Is this the time and place for me to be getting all of the social media notifications? Or can I, structure that a little differently? Is this the time and place for me to be communicating with work, or is this the time and place for me to be with family or with my loved ones? All right. So just a little reflection, mental clarity and is not about having no stress. It's not about completely eliminating clutter, but it's about things that we can prioritize so that the idea of having too much to do in too little time is not winning. Okay, we don't want that to win. We want the prioritization, the slowing down, the checking in with our body, the reminding our nervous system that we're okay and that we can do this. That is what needs to win. Okay, and all of you are winners. I want to thank you all for joining me today. We're going to finish with one more deep, full breath. So I invite you to take your biggest inhale yet today. Fill your lungs with as much air as you possibly can. And then slowly let it out. All right, you've got this. We are in this together. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Kristen. I'll also stay live for a little bit longer if you want to communicate in the chat. Otherwise, this will be recorded and posted to your YouTube channel. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. You deserve this.